Dun 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 dun! The moment of truth has finally come. We have hit deflation, and holy moly, it is so hard to sell items right now. And when I mean items, I mean more expensive items such as huges, expensive enchants, expensive. I have noticed though, a lot of other smaller little items here and there are actually selling. Granted, some items are not going to really benefit me too much because if I'm making like 187,000, 30,000 gems every once in a while, it's really not going to affect my gem count. But I wanted to conduct this particular test to see what exactly is selling. Now, obviously this is sped up because I did stand here for at least 30 minutes or a little bit more over that to see what people are buying. Now, I honestly think it might be because of what's been going on in the game, and we're gonna go ahead and cover those because I feel like this is really not noticeable, but I did notice this at some point last night while I was trying to grind gems and open up the crystal chest at the same time. So you guys already know the deal with me. If the trade hub is not vibing with me for at least 10 minutes or so, I will leave and I will come back in. The only problem was, I kind of experienced the same thing in this trade hub as well, with some items selling here and there. So over some time, I decided maybe there's something that might be happening in the game right now. So I went into the last area in the rich area to basically test things out. This is to basically see how much gems I'm able to make over a period of time, as well as loot drops. Now, I did have to basically re-equip my team, bring back items that I find useful, and my enchants. I've been putting everything inside of boxes because I have been conducting the crystal key chest thing, and there's 150,000 keys, so I don't want to get it mixed up. So this is a period of 30 minutes with 20 times speed because I would be here forever if I were to do this. So let's go ahead and let this run through, and we'll go ahead and talk about this once it's finished. Alright, well 20 minutes later, I finally hit 1 million gems. You heard that right, 1 million gems. Oh my gosh, okay. And we're gonna go ahead and speed this back up to 20, and we'll be back here again with the other test. I won't lie, I thought maybe you could earn more gems in this area, and that's mainly because I haven't been playing the brand new event section because of the crystal key chest thing that I've been doing. So this is about 10 minutes or so of basically just grinding this out. So let's go ahead and test this out and figure out what is going to be the reason for this huge deflation that's happening. Alrighty, so after walking away, grabbing a soda, doing some things here and there, I decided to come back and I noticed that my gem count reset and I had to look back at the footage. Now, it looks like you're gonna have to pick between what you want to do in the game, which is a great option. You could either choose to grind gems or grind the new event section. Now, honestly, this could explain why there's a deflation currently going on because of the gem count that we're currently getting. Obviously, it took me 20 minutes minutes to get 1,000,000 gems, and I'm actually gaining way less here, but I'm able to get a higher chance of getting a huge pet from the brand new event egg, which is the new huge dino dog. So it took about maybe 10 minutes or so to get around 7,000 to 8,000 gems, so I have to sacrifice of what I actually want to do in the game right now. So yes, the struggle is real in trying to figure out what in the world, what we could possibly do. Now, what I'm going to end up doing is going back into the trade hub and seeing what people are actually wanting to buy right now, because it seems like the trade hub is very difficult to sell certain items. So let's go ahead and see. Alright, so I sped this up too because it was very, very long before I started to notice maybe some of these things are moving. But you could see that people are actually buying supplies, moreover so than huges. I'll see a couple maybe here and there actually sell, but they're extremely under wrap. Now, I did also notice some exclusives are selling as well, but again, it needs to be really under wrap. We'll exclude the Nightmare Kraken because this is Bob, and Bob is awesome, and I just want them. So this is a really great time if you are a buyer and if you have a lot of gems. Right now, I'm trying to buy smart. Now, I was even surprised with this mini rainbow chest thing that didn't even sell either. Twice. Now, hear me out. When it comes to deflation, obviously this is a great time to go out and buy. But there's a lot of people that might be upset about this because gem gaining is going to be a lot more harder when certain sections are nerfed. Now, I want to say this is to combat extreme inflation. Obviously, we were hitting huges that were almost near 80 million gems, and this was just with the basic huges, active huges, huge happy computer, huge hell rocks, huge happy rocks, stuff like that. We were hitting a point where it was almost impossible for new players to actually earn some of these huges. Now, out of sheer curiosity, I decided to look up huges. Now, a lot of them are extremely cheap right now, so like I said before, if you are in the market to buy huges, right now is probably the best time to go ahead and do so because of the fact that they're really under from what they used to be before. Before, we were looking around 75 to 80 million gems, depending on the huge that you were looking for specifically. Now, obviously, as every hour passes, they might go up just by a little bit, or they also might go down a little bit. So if you are trying to get the best deal possible, what I would recommend is trying to go into auctions. Auctions tend to basically sell a little bit less than what you're expecting to pay at wrap. So if you are on and you're trying to find a huge, don't buy one right away. Honestly, I would just go for the auctions because sometimes I do that too, and I actually get pretty good deals from it. Alright, so since everything is taking a big hit right now, does that mean everything else is as well, specifically keys? No, not necessarily. In fact, one of the keys that actually went back up in value was the Void key. I remember this key actually being one of the most cheapest things on the planet, and it freaked me out, and I bought so many. It actually went back up in price at 62,000 gems. So, you can take the chances with the keys. However, there is a risk of return. So keep that in mind, risk of return. Wait a minute, but there's more. Does this deflation affect any of the premium enchants, such as your super magnet, superior mimic chest, your chest mimic, diamond chest mimic, your diamond gift bag, and your boss mimic chest books? The answer is no. This also includes any of the smaller tier ones as well. Any of the Robux paid enchants don't seem to have this effect. Now, obviously, your smaller tier ones, such as your tier 9, your tier 8, stuff like that, have been affected. Now, this also includes any of the charms as well. I noticed there was a bit of a change in price value. Now, we're going to be talking about eggs. Some eggs have been affected. Now, we're going to talk about one particular egg that has not really been touched too much, and that's the huge machine egg. Right now, since the deflation is currently happening to everything in the game, right now is also a great time to invest in any pets that can give you the maximum amount of points in order to make that huge machine egg so you can profit from it. Just make sure that you don't put too much gems into it, otherwise it'll be a waste. Honestly, I'm not even mad that there actually is a deflation currently happening, and even with the last area kind of being a little nerfed. honestly, I find it to be a little entertaining because this gives me more ways to quite possibly earn more gems in other areas. Whether it is actually using keys to get huges and selling those for a little bit under to gain some sort of profit, or essentially engaging in different parts of the game that haven't really been explored all that much. And honestly, the one thing that I'm actually investing myself in is the brand new SpongeBob eggs. And I'll give you a reason why. So during this Saturday, Pet Simulator 99 introduced a brand new collaborated egg with SpongeBob, aka Nickelodeon. This is the first exclusive egg, which has a studio behind it. Now, this egg has not faltered beyond 50 million gems, and the lowest at its wrap, it was at 65 million gems. And even when it was 65 million gems, people were not selling it for 65 million gems. Every time that I wanted to go out into the trade hub and actually buy one, the least expensive that I was able to find it was either 67 million all the way up to 75 million, depending on the booth that you're actually buying from. Yes, it might take a minute to actually find these eggs at a reasonable price, but I have a very strong feeling when this egg is gone. Granted, it might take some time for it to actually go up in value, but I feel like it's going to be one of the most expensive, exclusive eggs that the game currently has for Pet Simulator 99, and this excludes Pet Simulator X and the very first few eggs that were released inside of the game. As of right now, I was able to collect around 8 or 9 of these eggs, and I'm going to save keep them. As hard as it may be to wanting to open them, I'm going to try my best to save keep these and sell them when the time is right. Though it is optional for everyone to go out into the trade hub and choose to invest in these are a little risky. At the end of the day, these are a little risky. So with all this in mind, what are your guys' plan for this entire week before a new update drops? Do you guys plan on playing the new dinosaur update? Do you guys plan on grinding keys out? Do you guys plan on grinding gems? Are you going to try to find a new gem method? Let me know down in the comments down below, and I will pick a winner for the next huge giveaway in my next video upload. And yes, I am still working on 158,000 crystal keys. I have 6 to 7 dedicated boxes that are filled up with loot from the chest that should be dropping within, I don't know when, 2025. And until then, I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye everyone!